Cells in formulas written on a spreadsheet can be referenced as relative referencing or absolute referencing. It is very important to know the difference. To demonstrate the idea of relative referencing, we're going to start by writing a formula in C3, which will be B3 plus 7. The result is 8. Copy the formula down. Notice that the contents of cell C3 is B3 plus 7. This formula is written as a relative reference. Because this was written as a relative reference, when you copy the formula down, the formula adjusts itself. Notice that in cell C4, the formula is equals B4 plus 7. That is, the B3 in the formula above has been changed to B4. What the formula is saying is take the cell that I'm in, go back one cell to the left, get that cell reference, and put it into the formula. This is the idea of a relative reference. Notice the same thing has happened in cell C5. We can also copy the formula right. Notice in cell D3, the formula has been adjusted to equals C3 plus 7. That is, go back one cell relative to the cell that I'm in and add 7. There are the same results for E3 and F3. In this example, we want to create the 8 times table. That is, we are going to write equals B3 times A2. A2 is storing the number 8. We're going to copy the formula down. The result is not what we planned. The formula in cell C3 is correct. The problem comes with the relative referencing. In cell C4, the reference becomes B4, which is correct, times A3. Because of the relative referencing, the cell A2 has been changed to A3, which stores the number 0. The same thing happens in cell C5 and each of the cells downward. We're going to change the formula in cell C3 to show an absolute reference for cell A2. By absolute referencing that cell, it will not change when we copy the formula. To make it an absolute reference, type $signs in front of the column and the row. Now we will fill this formula down. Notice that the results are correct. The relative part of the formula has changed from B3 to B4. The absolute reference has not changed. This can also be filled right. Again, the relative reference changes, but the absolute reference does not. To demonstrate why absolute referencing is so important, I'm going to change the 8 to a 9. By changing the contents of one cell, all of the formulas referencing that cell have also been changed. We now have the 9 times tables. This is very important in a business sense if you were creating a what-if analysis. You may want to examine the changes in the bottom line by the changes in perhaps an interest rate. The whole sheet could be recalculated after changing only one cell.